Yeah.
You'd speak your heart.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah, because it's struggle for me.
It don't
Every day,
come together all at
it's
once.
still a struggle every day for me.
It takes time.
But the struggle continues. But you got people like us who've been in the struggle and understand the struggle that can help you through it.
The struggle, my health, everything is a struggle every day.
Well,
and then, this might sound sad, but then when I feel out here sometimes, I feel that I had happier times sometimes in there as far as my health.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way. That's
as far as
nothing.
my health.
That's nothing. That's nothing new or strange.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying what I feel. My health right now don't feel the best. I mean, I'm all right, but it's a struggle every day. Just trying to get around for myself. And when I reflect back on it, I reflect on a lot of different things. I reflect on a lot of bad, times when, I didn't know if I would ever come out of there. Times when people trying to push up on you, you didn't know what you're going to have to do to people.
Yeah.
Like that morning when this door bust, you don't know what's going to happen that morning. But I've also had a lot of good times in there too. I haven't had all bad times, but I'm just saying I reflect on a lot of everything in there because everything, I'm glad to be out here, but like I said, it seemed like I was just sometimes happier in the moment, in the mindset, and health-wise when I was there. I came out here, I had all these health issues, car accident, blood clots. After I spent 33 years, came out here, I said, damn, made it all the way through that. Now look what I'm going through.
Well, it's like just about everything else, particularly in terms of our lifestyle and patterns. Things sometimes remain the same.
I feel
it's all a struggle. I never thought for one moment that I was gonna never get out. With 25 to life, in no way in the world that I thought that I was gonna stay there for life.
I didn't think, I never thought that, I would stay there for life. I didn't know when. I knew I would get out at some point, but, I just, sometimes, like I said, I was scared in there. And doing the things that I was doing in there sometimes, man, when you're trying to do the right thing in there, it's like, what comes with that, you got haters in there. They're going to hate on what you're trying to do, trying to make it right, trying to do the right thing they didn't want to do. And, it was a challenge a lot of times for me. People trying to push up, I want to be on this project, you going to put me down on this. Nigga, don't come out to the yard tomorrow. All them types of things. I went through all that just to do the projects that I done. But I made it out of there. And I'm happy that I made it out of there without having to really hurt anybody or anything. Because I wasn't going to let nobody really, do anything to me.
That's why it's important to be part of a group, what we call a social conscious group, that you don't stand alone. One person don't speak for everybody, but we had a process in terms of what we went through in terms of purging ourselves of those negative aspects and those negative behaviors and stuff like that. You got to get that up out of there before you try to put something new on top. Because if you don't purge yourself and put that new information and stuff on top of that old stuff will bubble up and rise again, So you have to, in other words, to be a more, in terms of religious aspect, cleanse ourselves, in order to be able to put forth a new prospect, a new idea, a new way of seeing things, And when that takes place, everything's begin to change. Yeah. Things fall into place. People begin to see who you are.
Exactly.
Instead of that old person that you used to be.
And that's true, brother. They, like, some of them started to see you different. Like, like what you just said, some of them started to see you different. That's not, like, some of the guys be like, nah, that's Mac. Somebody knowing what the Mac. Maxwell? Nah, man. People ain't like that. That was just their mindset still. my mindset had changed, pretty much. And, I came out here, like I said, it's a struggle, every day it's a struggle for me. It's a challenge. And I feel like when I came out here, I feel like I had the world on my back, though. I inherited a lot of things, man, that I didn't mean to inherit, whether through family, nephews, or whatever. Not wanting to go where I've been. I inherited that. I didn't ask for it. It just pushed on me. I had to come back from North Jersey. I had to come down from Maplewood to move with my father, to take care of my father. I didn't mind doing it. He took care of me for the 33 years in prison. He had cancer. I came down. I had an opportunity to take care of him for 4 years. It wasn't a lot of years, but I had an opportunity. And I'm glad that I had that opportunity. And when I lost him,
well, can I tell you a little bit how I make it and some of my advice to others? We all, I just feel like we're just passing through. You know what I mean? I love life. I'm not suicidal, but I do welcome death. You know what I mean?
Got one foot on the pill?
Huh?
You got one foot on the pill?
On the banana. You know what I mean? Really. I got one foot on the banana pill. And I say that simply because, I'm 71 years old now. And I don't even want to live to be 100 and all that. So I'm just saying, I'm passing through. I cannot get back yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to worry about yesterday. I can't get that back. Exactly. And so I say this to say to you that, whatever people expected from you that perhaps you are not giving them, it's what you need to do for Maxwell.
Exactly.
Do what you need to do for yourself. And for real, it is really good to just take one day at a time. I'm sure you've been through them programs and all that kind of stuff, even on the inside. Yeah. But, it is really a day at a time.
That's what it is.
Do what you need to do for yourself and don't try and, live up to others' expectations because it's just not going to happen.
And I don't. And when you don't live up to other people's expectations, they're not happy with you.
Then you don't have to worry about those people. Those people that are, wanting you to be a pleaser for them, then those are the people that don't have your best interests at heart. You know what I mean? And you just have to, because for real, I don't like pity parties. Yeah. Now, I love you, and you know that I love you, and you and I sit down and we talk. Yeah. I don't like going to pity parties with people crying over spilt milk. What you know what I mean? If whatever happened, it happened, but do better.
But I try to.
You're a smart guy. You can do anything that you want to do.
But at the same time, my feelings is who I am, and everybody's different in how they express themselves.
Everybody is different, but take your feelings off of your shoulder where people could just knock them around the way they want to.
Oh, they can't knock them the way they want to. Believe that. They ain't going to be able to knock them the way they want. They might be able to knock them a little bit. Then you wouldn't
be so upset about what people are thinking about you.
I'm not upset about it. It affects me what they expect of me. I'm not upset. At times I've gotten angry that what people expected.
Maxwell, this is what I've witnessed, right? I think life in itself, as much as selfless as we try to be, it's a very selfish thing. Yeah. It's your life. It's the only one you got from what we know on this earth, right? And the ones who do extend themselves that far, like my grandma, she extended herself to everybody. Her kids, her kids' kids, her husband. Like, everybody took the most and the best, and all they will do if you're willing to give your life like that is take. That's all people know how to do in that situation, because life is a very selfish thing. And I watched my grandma probably take 20 years off of her life, die prematurely, get sick at probably 50. By the time she was 50, her health was failing, and then it just was more and more heart attacks, strokes, this and that. And had we not been sucking the life out of her literally, she would still be here. Mm-hmm. She would still be here. My grandmother was not wealthy, but a well-off woman, educated, life, had money, all that. Had it not been for her legacies and her generations behind that just constantly took, she probably would still be enjoying her life. And I love my grandma to death. That's my favorite person in the world. But the one thing that I learned is I'm not going to be like her in that. I'm not willing to kill myself for other people. I can't do it. Can't do that. Can't do that. And she was special for doing what she did, but that's why she was her, and that's why I'm me, because I ain't that special to do it.
And my mother was kind of like the same as your grandmother, and giving and just giving and taking care of everybody, right? And she left early, but yeah, my mother just gave all of them. Worried about her grandkids, every kid, and she worried about her Max, but she know Max was gonna be all right. If anybody in the world knew that I was gonna be all right, she knew I was gonna be all right. At times when I didn't even know I was gonna be all right, she knew she said, "You gonna be all right," you know.
It's funny. My sister, she said, because my grandpa is still living, he doing good, but that's because he cut us off a long motherfucking time. He cut us off. He out here remarried. Hey, right?
Story ends.
My sister said, he ain't no grandpa. He ain't never do nothing. He ain't never. I said, wait a minute. So, because he didn't literally die for you, you think that diminishes the things that he has done, because her standard is so skewed, because she's used to having this person who literally went above and beyond the call of duty for anybody, grandchild, child, any whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's not even a normal type of love. That's not even a normal. What he did was pretty normal. Oh, here's your, hey grandbaby, here's your peppermint, pass you all that. But all that above and beyond, stressing yourself out and letting all these people stomp over you, and you paying for this, you paying for that, you paying for that. That's not the standard on which, you should equate love or relationships. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just, you gotta, put your boundaries and, just keep it pushing. It's my idea.
Me coming up as a child, me and my brothers and sisters, my mother was the one that was always there. But my father was too. But he set that boundary. No. Right. This is what y'all gonna do, If you run into a problem, you gotta fix it. If I see that you can't fix it, then I'll step in. And me, I was the type of child that I don't care. Even if it was wrong, I wasn't bad, but I just got in a lot of things. And if my dad told me to go right, I'm the type of child that went left, And a couple of times, my dad stepped in and fixed it, and so did my mom. And then one day he said, you know what? He said, if she going to continue getting herself in these kind of spots, we're going to fall back and let's see what she could do. And I learned from that. And I thank God that my parents was like that. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny, Miss Val? My mom was an addict for over 20 years, right? She would get kicked out the house. My grandma would buy a new house. Get kicked out the house. They put a petition to kick us off the block, all this other stuff. My grandma would be forced to sell that house, buy her a new house. My mom didn't get clean. She's been clean for 15 years now. Until my grandma didn't buy her another house, didn't take in her kids, made my mom go to a shelter with her kids, and that was the last time my mom ever got high. Because she had to take her hands off. She had to finally let her make her own mistakes, fall as far as she was going to fall, and see what happened. And had she not did that, there's no telling where my mom would be right now. You know what I mean?
I brought my kids up the same way. My daughter, both of her kids, she brought them up the same way. I'm going to be there. I'm your mother. You know what I'm saying? Whether you right or wrong, but I brought my kids up like, whatever you do, tell me the truth. Don't lie. Because if you lie, I'm going to find out the truth, and you're going to be in trouble. So I brought them up in that kind of structure. And I used to always think about, what this person think about me, what this person think about me, and this and that. And it took me 3 years to get it in my head and set myself straight. I don't give a damn what nobody think of me. Even when I went to prison, when I first came home, I was like, damn, people gonna look at me different, this and that. But once, I'm like, wait a minute, who cares? I did that time. I did my crime. And I did my time and paid my dues. So I got this thing that I don't give a damn what you think. I don't care how you feel about me. I make me happy. And I help a lot of people. And sometimes, hey, it don't turn out right. When I first came out of Baptist, I went through pure the hell. It was at a point where I was actually ready to jump on my first roommate, the second one, the third one, and the last one. I was really ready to hurt her. But I had to catch myself. I'm like, do I want to go back to jail? Is it really worth me really hurting somebody and going back when I got clemency? Hell no.
You was in a 2-man cell?
Yeah, I was in.
I couldn't imagine living with you.
Listen, I was out here.
Talk you to death.
I used to tell Philly, yo, I'm ready to really just strangle this roommate. And he was like, Val, come on, you done did 18 years.
She's not even talking about the one in
jail?
prison. She's talking about when she got out.
Everybody, every person that they put in that very first apartment that I had, in that other room, they was crackheads, they was selling their ass, had the traffic running in and out of their room all night. I'm in my room sleep. I had to literally, my second roommate, when my granddaughter told me that my roommate, one of the guys she brought in there with her while I was in my room sleeping, when my granddaughter told me that he tried to touch her, when I came out of my room, when my granddaughter told me that next day when I came out my room, I banged on her door. I said, where's that motherfucker at? She was like, I said, yo, you better check your niggas. So I'm going to check them. And if I have to check them, you're not going to like it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I don't care what nobody think about me. And you got to really do what makes you feel good. And what makes me feel good is helping people and doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I think no matter what we are, me and Maxwell was talking about this, it comes with a little bit of survivor's remorse getting far from the bottom. Getting anywhere. Yeah. Right? You get a job, you from the hood, everybody on the corner, this, that, and the third. You get a job, they try to make you feel like shit for having a job, but you like your job. Mm-hmm. And you might feel you feel funny about having a job. You feel funny about walking past them in your uniform, because it makes you feel bad that you're doing a tiny bit better than the people that you love. And I think that we all experience that in this situation. Like, you sit here and it's like, damn, I know they locked down. They can't even have phone calls today. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you might talk to somebody and they might say one of the worst guards is on the unit at the time. And you might be having the time of your life out here at the moment, So, like, that already comes with it. But you can't be weighed down by searching for happiness. You can't weigh yourself down for wanting to be happy.
And that's why what makes me feel, I love my job. I really do, because my job allows me to go on back to the inside. So, I can deal with people that I left behind or people that I don't know that are just in prison, and just to tell them my story, just to give them that hope that people need, you know what I mean? So just to do that makes me feel good. I can sleep good at night when I accept a phone call from, people on the inside, even when I don't feel like being bothered sometimes, you know what I mean? But I do that because it makes me feel good, and I know what it's like to be on the inside, so I know what they're going through. But I'm going to tell you what I don't do. I don't beat myself up about shit. And I'm telling you, I really don't. I'm a good person. My heart is good. And Mo will tell you, really, the way that I am right now, I was the same way on the inside. I don't have too much tolerance for bullshit. I really don't. Because it's just so unnecessary. I don't have tolerance for a liar. because you can come and tell me anything. You can tell me the truth. I'm a down-to-earth person. My grandchildren say I'm one of the coolest grandmoms in the world. You know, and they're adults. That's because they can come and talk to me about anything. You know, I am not a judgmental person. It is not for me to judge. You know what I mean? If you need to bust your head to the white meat before you understand, then God bless you. I'll be there to try and band-aid you up, but I'm not going to keep chasing, you know, somebody that just don't want to do right when they have good sense. You know what I mean? So life just does not, you know, like when I see life bothering you, life is bothering you. And it bothers me that you allow life to bother you. You know what I mean? Really. And Maxwell, you are so intelligent. You are really an intelligent guy. You're a nice looking guy. And when you do that, you know what I mean, it makes people like second guess you. But I don't, let me tell you something. I have a little discernment. I prayed for discernment. I know you're a good person. You know what I mean? I know that your heart is good. You're like a 2-year-old. You got it at sometimes. You know what I mean? But I really love you. That's why, you know, last night we were looking for you and stuff. I was worried about you. You know, and I couldn't even hardly sleep because you out there in the street somewhere in wherever we at. You know what I mean? And things like that are things that bother me. And I believe that because I genuinely love people from my heart. I believe that's why God blesses me so much. Because I'm a fool and he blesses me. You know, but I worry about you, and what I feel with my discernment is that you're not very honest all the time. You know, now if you would come and be straight up, I'm telling you, you don't know how you would get so much help. You don't know where your help is going to come from, but you got to come straight. You really do. You just got to come straight up, be straight. This is it. Ain't no shame. I don't have no shame in my game.
Me neither.
Whatever, if it's anything that is up with me, if you care, I don't care. You know, I mean, if you know, want to run with it, I don't care. That's like having garbage and you throw up and somebody want to eat your garbage, let them eat it. Now they sick. You know what I mean? But you feel better. So that's what you do. Get rid of all that stuff.
You see, I actually got lost. You see, the man brought me home. I couldn't find my way home back.
Well, we're not just talking about that incident. Just anything.
Yeah, I think it's more of an honesty with self. Because you got to kind of be honest with yourself before you can. Because I don't think that Maxwell looks in our face and says a lie. Like, sometimes. But, you know what I'm saying? I don't think, but I don't think that you, like, are a liar. I think that you might be a little bit in denial about certain, not wanting to face certain things.
Being embarrassed.
Because it's a lot different when you verbalize some shit that's deep here, you know, that you feel in your heart, but you can't say it because that make it real. Once you say it out your mouth, that make it real sometimes.
But him being embarrassed sometimes because of his behavior, because ain't nothing crazy about him. Well, it is something a little crazy about you, but you know, but you know what I mean. But you got good sense, because nobody can stand up and do what you did here yesterday. And I mean, really you touched my heart. I wanted to cry because what you were saying was just so sincere, and one heart knows another heart. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just that he got some shit with him sometimes. But you know you got shit with you. Everybody got shit with him. I got shit with me too.
I do too.
You know what I mean? We all do. But I'm just saying, I know that you can do better than you're doing right now. And I do know that. I know that you can do better. But sometimes I think you look for that pity party. That's that party I told you that I don't like to be invited to.
I don't think it's really a pity party. I think like I you know, just like you said, don't wear your feelings up here. I got a lot of things, you know, a lot of feelings that I haven't dealt with. Like I said, you know, you say you can't live in the past. It's not that I'm living in the past. I'm living in a lot of resentment about a lot of things at times and just different things. I think I'm a very honest person. You know, I tell the truth about. I have no problem with self-disclosure. You know, it's nothing that I can't really say about myself, from getting high to whatever. It's nothing that I couldn't share. You know, about myself.
Did you go look for your phone last night?
Yeah, I went to Summit Street. I was looking for my phone. I talked to a couple of people at the pawn shops and stores. Asked them, did anybody? He said,
And that's
"Bro."
what took you so long to get back to the mansion.
Yeah, and I was sitting over there on the bench. And I was sitting on the bench over there. I had fell asleep on the bench. My leg gave out on me.
See, when he just says stuff like that.
I actually fell asleep.
And I believe that you probably did, but it just sounds so,
my
you
leg,
know, like unreal.
Oh yeah, like that.
I have to stop. My
The
leg.
dog ate my homework.
My
Yeah,
leg.
yeah, like when somebody bust me in my head and I dropped the keys.
One of them.
My leg actually gives out on me a lot of times.
Yeah.
It really gives out on me. I have to stop. My leg gives out on me, but you know, I try to keep. You know, I keep it real. I really have no problem with self-disclosure or any issues that I'm going through, other than what I'm telling y'all. Just like I say, I have issues with the way people expect this and that. Those are the things that I do have issues with, and I got no problem with sharing what I have issues with and the truth about it. And you know, like you say, pity parties or whatever. I understand, and like at time, I couldn't say you're cold, but like say you don't like pity parties, but you have, and I found myself like that, zero tolerance for nonsense. And when I have zero tolerance for no nonsense, it's terrible. Because like I'm the coldest man, I can be the coldest man in the world sometimes. And you know, but
Well, it's just the way that people handle things. Like, I'm the type of person that really, I can be angry and you'll never know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really. I'll never even, you'll never know it because I'm not going to change. I'm not going to treat you bad because she made me mad.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't have, I've never had that type of personality. And people that do have personalities like that, it really annoys me. Because if I've done nothing to you, why are you taking whatever out on me? I mean, come on, I have nothing to do with that. But everybody just don't think like that. You know what I mean? But
like you said, like you have no problem. You know, for zero, I have like the same attitude, really, zero tolerance for nonsense. You might not be able to see that, but I really do.
I don't see it because you're nonsense.
That's why I don't see it.
Come on, let's wrap this.
Maxwell, honestly, baby, you put a lot of mileage on you this week. For these 3